Yes, I'm very happy to be here this morning to share with our colleagues across the highs. And I believe that we will have useful deliberation and we're going to share from, learn from one another. I titled this as Making Impact at the Very Top. And this actually, my concern this morning is actually, it goes beyond just career as an individual stuff. I'm looking at it making impact across the society, especially when you are reaching the top. And I've categorized our concern. I think I can go to the next slide. Sorry.
Okay.
The next slide. Okay. You know, when we talk about the issue of career, we look at it at 3 levels. Your entry career level concerns, mid-career level concerns, and the apex career level concerns, which some of the things have been articulated by Dayo and Yemi in the earlier presentations. But the storyboard is that we need to deal with issues of consistency, relevance, and impact, especially as we are moving up. And I want you to focus that you need to deal with the issue of consistency, relevance, and impact. Whether you are currently trying to sign off work, or you are an entrepreneur, or you are aspiring to be one. You have to deal with issues of, am I consistent, am I still relevant, and I'm making impact. Let's go to the next slide and look at it across those 3 career levels. So when you are entering a career, basically looking at the issue of, do I have the qualifications? Where are the opportunities? Do I have the required interview skill? Am I developing? You look at all these factors and you put in your applications to whatever organizations that you want, like Dayo said, or Dapo said. We need to scan the environment to look for opportunities. And as you're looking, your concern that time is, let me just start something. But that is not what we are concerned with today because we are past this stage. So let's go to the next level. We are the meat of our discussion in the next year. So when you're in the mid-career, maybe you're a manager, principal manager, AGM, whatever. And all that time is about technical competencies and performance. Just let me perform. Just let me be visible. You are focused on the issue of development. Yourself, your environment, your organization, your family. You have some personal aspirations that as I'm going on, what are my aspirations in terms of my career? What do I want to do to myself, to my career, to my family? What are your personal aspirations? These are the things that will concern you at that time. And then you are looking at who your coaches are, who are your mentors. You are looking at the issue of compensation. Am I well paid? Is money, can it sustain me? Can I take this far? And that is what informs when you want to leave one organization for the other, so to speak. You are looking for the better life, which is important. That you are looking for career upward mobility at the mid-career level. That is where you have a lot of movement, a lot of changes. People move from one organization to the other, one sector to the other. That's happened to me. I started in shipping. I went into a law practice to start off their HR in a large law firm in Lagos. I left that place. I went into consulting. I was in PwC for upward of 14 years. I left PwC. I went to do some things, I went to do some things for the financial sector as a project. Then I left that place. I went into the ecosystem for about 10 years. I came back, when I reevaluated my situation. I came back into consulting to take up leadership role. So you are concerned about that. Then you are concerned about the quality of work experience. What is the quality of the work experience that can make you a thought leader or an expert or somebody that is advancing a career? You are concerned about the quality of your work experience. So you cannot just take anything at this level. You are choosing. Now, you are actively building your professional network and association, just like that said. The man that spoke to us at the plenary, he made mention about professional network and associations. You are focused on that because you are trying to groom yourself for the next level. So let's go to the next level so that we can close in on this. Terry. The next slide. And I think that's it. So that's not the last slide.
Oh.
Yeah, the next one. So when this is where all of us are actually now. This is where all of us are at the moment. Especially all of us in this room. This is where we are. We are at the place where we are doing our reflection because things are closing up. We've worked for several number of years, so many years. And so we're looking at our experience, we're looking at our skills, we're looking at our capital, what have we accumulated over the years. We're looking at our capacity, broadly defined. And so we are doing a self-evaluation. Am I really ready for retirement? Am I really ready for the next level? Am I really ready to go higher? Will my experience get me promoted? What I have acquired over the years, are they related or interconnected that can get me a seat at that next level or can make me to be self-sustained or, stand alone? At this level, you are also planning about you and managing what I call the U corporation, your home self-company. You are focused on plans and, personal self-plans and management. You are focused on the U corporation. You are no longer looking, you are not an organization man. You are not looking deliberately at yourself in an holistic manner. At this level, your career is probably plateauing. What would they have to you? You've had all the training, you've had all the capacity development, you've had all manner of things. Here now, you're more or less like a thought leader. So all you are focused on is that, what's my sphere of influence as a leader? If I reach out to a Terry, a Martins, a Tony, Tony, do I have that sphere of influence that can make me relevant and impactful at this top level? Where am I? How do I move forward? These are the kind of questions that will be born in your heart. I asked that question when I was leaving the ecosystem to join PCR. Am I really, what I have now, can it sustain my quality of life even if I retire? If I'm 60, I want to slow down. I want to do something for myself and I don't want anybody to be bossing me around. But at the moment, can I sustain the type of quality of life that I'm used to? Have I done all the things I need to do as a man? So those things are bothering you. You are not really focused on the basic things of life or what to eat or something like that. That's not the issue now. Because those ones have been taken care of at the entry and mid-career level, so to speak. Now, you are looking at your social capital or the quality and reach of your network. And I want to say something here. At the level of Apex career, you are not only focused on technical competence. You are focused on social competence. And that's why when people are talking about politics in the office, it's not politics in the negative definition of the word. We are talking about the social connection that gets you, that makes contributions feasible and appreciated. And so how do you make that happen? Being the right group, making contribution, those are the social connections that we call belonging to the culture. So the social capital or the quality and reach of your network matters within and without. If I live, for instance, I've developed a number of networks from this meeting, I can reach out to them. We have developed a vast amount of network that we can tap to individually and collectively to advance our career. We are talking about relevance and impact to the community. Are you really relevant in your community? Not just looking at your own personal prism, you are looking at the wider thing. And this is where we are talking about making, impact at that apex. You are not focused on self. You are focusing on something that is larger. You are focusing on value creation. That spoke about that in his speech. You create value that you can be relevant. And you are looking at what these things that I have, are they sufficient to maintain and sustain me? My experience, my network, everything. Are they sufficient to maintain and sustain my quality of life? Then you are looking at the work-life balance. All these things, they have spoken about it in the earlier presentation. But I just want to reiterate them as things that we need to think about as we are looking at career. Don't let us look at career as a question of what to eat. Let's look at it as a matter of contribution to ourselves, to our immediate family, and to the society at large. And what that calls for. Who do I need to reach out to? What do I need to do to get this moving? I think these are the concerns that we have at the apex level. And I'm open my home from my own experience and my worldview about how these things can happen. Thank you very much. we have a useful deliberation.
All right, thank you so much, sir, Mr. Olawanle, for that very short time with that. I believe it's very, very clear so far. For me, the section on Dayo from UK or Jomo has been very, very, very overwhelming. It's very, very expository for me. And I believe for those who are actually online right now, I believe they gain a lot. I don't want to go into many of the things that were said, but from what you said so much so far, sir, I believe that some of us, like this group is about those who are at the apex of their career, self-employment, those who are about to retire. But I know there are some instances wherein when you look at your career, like you said, the reflection thing, and then you look at the fact that you're going to retire, but what you're retiring into scares you because it's not going to be what they were. It's not something that will keep you post-retirement. For the purpose of the audience, sir, can you enumerate steps by step, maybe highlights or points or things that you could do step by step that can enable one to actually take advantage or do a redirection like you did, try to do maybe rebrand or refocus or take advantage of other industries? How do you go about it step by step to actually get this done post before retirement?
So what I have done in my life is that I have a vision of what I want to do in retirement. In retirement, I want to lecture in the university, you know, and I want to lecture. I just want to be a lecturer. I just want to sit down, talk, and then how do I prepare myself to do that? You understand me? I say, okay, I want to lecture in the university. What are the things that I have acquired and people may do that? You have to be deliberate about the steps you need to take. I know that, I'm so sure that retirement scares so many people in the face. What we have not learned, and it has not been woven into our employee practice, is that you start planning your retirement from day one that you enter the organization. I didn't do it because of so many things. I didn't do it, but I regret, it is a regret for me that I didn't do that. I know that I did some shot in the dark. Okay, you make investment, you buy a little shares here, you buy this there, but what is the performance of all these things? They are not even articulated. There was no deliberate plan. But it's not late. Just look at yourself, do self-evaluation. What are you good at? What can you leverage upon? Who are your network? What are the resources in your environment? Now, I can tell you there are huge resources in Nigeria today that you can tap into. We have so many publications, so many advocacy programs going on about opportunities that you can tap to start to organize yourself. Do I want to have a company? What's the process of having the company? What do I need to do? All these are things that you need to reflect upon. What's my capacity at the moment? What is my skill like? What am I good at? Not necessarily doing, white collar stuff. It might be something that is your interest. What's your interest? And how can you manage that interest to make it thing that will contribute to your life?
Okay. The first speaker said something earlier. Positioning yourself actually in office. Well, I learned something recently over this period because I began to use those things I felt was a struggle for me at first while I was working. This same IT company I worked at, okay, I'll start with banking. Now, when I started banking, I worked with Zenith Bank. That's from the very grassroots of my career. I worked at Zenith Bank. You know how branch managers could be? Terrible people. Like, she was just always on me. Anytime she walks into the office, like, I'm scared, I'm shaking. It's almost like I felt there was nothing good about me. But at some point, I found out I had a unit head that encouraged me. And then I looked onto so my unit head helped me, and she helped me how? In understanding a whole lot of things at my job. First thing she had to teach me was how to use my time while I was in office. Using my time in the sense that I'm using my scenario now on how I was able to be, I was being noticed at my job. She taught me how when you get to the office, the things you can do now and the things you can do at close of work. In the sense that you have to learn things that need immediate attention and things that don't need immediate attention. So at that point, I was able to learn to meet up deadlines, because the ones that needed to be taken care of later, I decided to stay back at the office to doing them at close of work at my own time if I wanted to. But this helps in the sense that people had come and had sat on that position for long, but had not been able to achieve what I had achieved. To the point where when we get to meetings, I was the one she would always tell, take minutes, because I knew that as I'm leaving here in the next 1 hour, you would deliver. In doing all those kind of things, I began to be noticed to the point of even her learning to now applauding me and giving me bonuses. Fast forward to while I came into the IT company. While I came into the IT company, I started with, the first position was to head the customer service unit. And while I was there, it was tedious because a whole lot were happening. And then social media came and they said I had to take over social media. Looking at me, I was like, I'm very sorry, sir. I've never done this before. And he says, you must take it up. And so I began running up, run here, run here, run here. I also had to pave my way into learning how to do this now. I paid my way into learning how to handling social media. I had to stay with the IT guys on knowing how to open these handles, how to do these technical things behind, and so. So as I began to do that, I found out I was being relevant in the sense that technical issues now that naturally came in, I knew what to do. I knew how to handle it. Now, don't forget the fact that I was still heading the customer service using, now heading the social media units, in the sense I had to develop content. I had to follow up the graphics guys. After following the graphics guys, they will send what they have drawn, the designs they have drawn. I will be the one to put everything and check everybody on Trello. I will set my work. So my superiors, my line managers will come and see what we are posting for the week. Then after going through it, it was tedious, but guess what? All in all, they see what you are doing and then will come to appreciate you. Now, the last section we came off from, someone
was asked to clean floor. He was not looking at white collar job, and he started small, like the man said, start small, just start, and you will arrive at a bigger destination. So, having a big dream to jump into something. When I went back to employment, when I went back to PCL, in all honesty, if I would have not said, oh, I don't want to report to anybody. If you are repackaging yourself, you may, because of certain, certain inadequacies or certain deficiencies that had happened over the years, you can actually go for something below what you are used to, just to get back. You can go for it, because when you get back, your experience is beefed up, your profile is up, and then you can connect to higher dream. So the way you package yourself, your expectation, you can moderate your expectation to connect back to work. For instance, if you're a GM before and you're out of work and you're expecting to be hired as a GM, don't forget that there are so many GMs wanting to work. But they say, okay, we will offer you an AGM. Do you want to take it? Somebody will say, why am I scaling down on my priority? No, that's not scaling down. You know where you're going. You want to connect back so you can drop a little and then get back and then move on to a point of inflection. So that's the way I see it.
How will hiring managers see that you have been at a particular level in your career before? Let's say you are a managing director, or like you said, and then you are now trying to get back into the corporate world with something lesser than, and you're taking a salary or you're taking a pay cut. How does that work? How does that go?
What the hiring manager is looking for is not actually your positional leadership. They are looking at your contribution. And so if they find you of value, the first step they take is to shortlist you. They're not probably going to drop you on account of that. All they will want to find out from you is your ability to connect to the culture of the organization, like Dio spoke about. How will you be able to absorb? When I was joining PCL, my current MD is far younger than me. Do you understand me? One of the discussions we had was that he looked at me, he said, this guy is older than me. What I like is God. And we connected. And I said, I'm going to work with you. Don't forget about it. I was not riding on a high horse, which is so important. The fourth thing is that the employer accepts you. That is the game. And the process of accepting you starts with shortlisting you for that position in the first place and interviewing you. If they don't want you, once they see you as an MD and they don't want to talk to you at all, they will probably drop you. But if they see that you can make contribution and they know the prima facie that, oh, this guy is going to accept this, or it's not going to be an issue for them with him, they will talk to you. And once they start talking to you, they reflect on that question, tell them, yes, you don't mind, because you know what you want, you know where you're connecting to. In my own experience, I told them actually the number of years I would love to stay with them. I told them up front. I told them my plans. Wow. Just be transparent. That's my view. I wasn't staying there. I didn't stay there with the fact that, like the guy said, he said, you're a leader and you don't have communities of leaders, you're a jerk. So I just told them that, look, for this number of years, I'm going to grow the person that will replace me, and I'm going to exit. It's like a bond. I didn't sign anything. I committed myself to it. And that fires me. That propels me to what I want to do. I may spend that year or less, but it's not going to be more than that. I guarantee you. Those were the commitment I made at the interview, to let them know that there's a purpose for this. All right.
Thank you so much, sir. We are actually gradually running out of time, but I have one or two other questions here, but I want to give opportunities to those in the audience to actually maybe ask one or two questions. So if you're in the audience and you want to ask a question, let me just give you 1 minute, and let's make it short and sharp. All right, ask your questions, unmute your mic, ask your question, and then mute back your mic so that we can actually hear our speaker. So do we have anyone on the questions quickly? Just unmute your mic and then ask your question.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, let's do one after the other. So somebody's all right now, so let's hear him.
Hello.
While the others mute your mics, please, so that we can hear him. So Deji, you're on. Please go on.
Yes. Sorry, I just want to ask a question. I'm saying some things now. You said something about skill and passion. And I want to ask, how can we marry skill and passion? Because these are two different worlds. And that's a lot of role to play when it comes to an organization or implementing a business. So how can you marry these two worlds together? Because it's a different thing for you to have a skill, like your skill of profession, and another thing is for you to have a passion towards something, and you have a zeal towards doing it. So how can you marry these two together?
All right, Deji, unmute your mic, please. Mute your mics, please. Okay. Over to you, sir.
Hello.
Over to you,
Is
sir.
it me?
Yes, yes.
A question.
So he said, how can you manage skill and passion?
Okay, let me just state here. Yeah. Can you hear me? The skill that will make your career to be delivered with passion. You can't separate the two. You see, if you are skillful, and I will tell you, I'll give you a line for that. What drives you is your passion, isn't it? Now, if you have skill, you have knowledge, it's like your experience, you have knowledge, and you don't have integrity, passion, don't hire you. Understand me as a passion. You are the character is defined that. So if you say you have a skill and you don't have a passion, there's a limit to which you can grow. There's a limit to which you can grow in an organization, because it is passion. It is that passion is competence to deliver on your knowledge. You can have a technical know-how of something, If it's not, it is the passion in combination with that skill that make the value created for you. That's it.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. How do you go about building a quality network that really matters to you? Not just building a network that has quality, that has contribution, or that will contribute to you. How do you start building that? Then two is that you know, there is support finishers and things like that. Now, yeah, how do you know a finisher? What are the qualities of a finisher? What do you think they should have? Because everybody tend to mix everything up, because we are in a career where we're trying to see, okay, want to go to our own personal business, or we are managing our own personal business, or somehow I just know we one needs if
Can
somebody
you
that
unmute
can
your mics, please?
touch.
Can you mute your mics, please? Okay.
So, how do you know a finisher from
right.
a startup? Because you know you can't have two startups working together. Because at least, how do you know what is the quality of a finisher? How do you know him? Because if you don't work with them, you don't know them. And for the first time, you need to let them come in.
I think you have made your point. So how do you?
Questions.
So let's make our questions as quickly as possible so we can accommodate more people or more questions. I think it has been said over and over in the course of the section. I'll just share one or two. They talk about being part of professional associations. So that is one. So in your industry, you need to identify yourselves with associations. Go there, serve. Like Dr. said, Dio from UK said that he was part of CIPD and he became the president. So add value to people in your industry. That's one way. And then you can also attend conferences and meet with people that actually cuts across whatever you are doing. But I also allow a speaker to also shed more light on that. I just wanted to share those two things. But it has been said over and over on how you can actually and do that. So over to you, sir.
The idea, the real thing is that you have to be deliberate about it. And you have to connect it to what you want to do. If I want to be a lecturer now, that defines immediately what my network will look like going forward. If I want to go into selling of solar energy, I have to apparently look for people in the power sector or people that are in that value chain and start to build that network along that line. People that can finance my vision, that can, those are the kind of deliberate efforts you need to make. And when you are talking about a starter and a finisher, you understand, these are team, categorizations. You can have a mixed bag of that. You can be a finisher and a starter. You can start something and finish it, depending on your interest, depending on your passion, depending on the quality of time you invest in it. And you can buy those qualities just to make sure that you complete what you want to do. So, in a sense, it's not about no, it's about what the requirement for what you want to do requires.
Mute your mic, please.
And how you need to get there. So, in my view, a starter and a finisher, they are just making sure that your team is complete. The people that you are going to work with, what should be their configuration. If I'm going to go to business with you, what should be the configuration of the people that I want to work with? Okay. So that is it. You have to be deliberate about it.
Okay, sir. Okay, I believe that's very apt and very straight to the point. So be deliberate, be intentional about what you want to do. I think everything starts, like Dio said, with the clarity of your vision. So you need to know exactly what you want. Sometimes I can share this with you that it takes some amount of time before someone can be very, very clear. Sometimes it can take months, sometimes it can take years to be very, very clear about exactly what you want at the beginning. Sometimes you may say this is what you want, and in the course of trying to get to where you want to get to, you see a lot of stuff like our speaker said, he had to take advantage of a lot of industries just to get to where he is going to. The host of this event, this program, is a personal friend who also has started from marketing, went into stockbroking, and then taking advantage of different industries, all in the bid to add value. So you need to be very purposeful. You need to be very intentional you need to be very clear about your vision, about what you want, and everything starts from there. So I don't want to take too much time. One of the participants of this program, I don't know if it's here live, but he shared this, and I believe it's one of the learning objectives for today. So how do you demonstrate capability and capacity, competence beyond the current level that you are right now? How do you demonstrate capability, capacity, competence beyond your present level? Over to you, sir.
You see, that's talking in the corporate world essentially. Now, when one of the speakers was talking, he spoke about mentors. He spoke about coaching. In every organization, they have what we call a career management framework that defines for you what, from grade to grade, what you are supposed to have or possess or do to move from one level to the other. And in most organizations, HR managers or HR practitioners may keep that one under wraps. But now that everything is open, these are things that should be published. These are things that should be known. So somebody says, I want to become an HR director, and it's an HR manager. So he needs to start to live that life or to exhibit that skill even at his current level in a graduated form. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that you need to balance, to marry. So you can demonstrate capability, capacity by looking at what do I need? Am I capable of doing this? Do I have the right skill, the right communication, the right network to do this? Do I have the capacity? If I don't have the capacity, can I acquire it? Can I buy it? If you are talking about competence, the competence, do I have the value to do this? Can I live that value? What does that value represent in an organization? A man said, I think he said that if you have skill, you have knowledge, and you don't have integrity, they should not hire you. So he has spoken about all. That's my response.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. We're actually running out of time. I think we have a very few minutes to go if we're not even done yet. But I don't know if we could take one more question. Do we have someone who is very pressing who wants to ask one more question? Can you make it short and sharp while the section is about to end? Short and sharp, unmute your mic and then ask straight to the point in 30 seconds, please. All right, is there anyone who has a question you want to ask?
Actually, because you are using a live platform does not mean you should take advantage. All right, time off. Other groups are already coming on board. We have redirected them.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, so we have closed the sessions. All right, so
okay, good.
So we're coming back to
I guess we are
main session now.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Mr. Olawanle Moronkeji, for the opportunity. I appreciate you. I just met you yesterday, but I have learned from your wealth of experience today. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone on this platform. Bye.
Thanks, Henry.